Other than Xiao clan, which was the first to decline, the Gu and Hun clans should be considered the strongest amongst the 8 ancient clans. Ranked behind them were the Yin and Lei clan. The bloodline strength of both clans had not showed any signs of exhausting even after so many years. Hence, the clans were filled with talented individuals. Although they were unable to compare with the Gu and Hun clans, they were far stronger than the Yao, Shi, and Ling clans could match. Perhaps it was this reason the two clans were not the first to be eliminated by the Hun clan. A soft persimmon was easy to squeeze. Clearly, the Yin and Lei clan were not included in this statement. Of course, after all the easy targets were destroyed, their turn would come sooner or later. The Gu clan appeared quite lively today. Being visited by the clan heads of the Yin and Lei clans was considered an important matter even to the Gu clan. Hence, their stance was extremely solemn. It could be considered to have given both clan heads sufficient face. By the time Xiao Yin and Sun Er had arrived outside the hall, the place was already filled with people. It clearly appeared exceptionally lively. Seated on the left of the leader's seat is the clan head of the Yin clan, Yin Jin. The two of them quietly snuck into the hall, after which they headed towards a deserted spot. Sun Er's finger pointed at a middle-aged man towards the left of the chief's seat and softly said. Xiao Yan's eyes looked in the direction where Sun Er was pointing towards. One could see a bright red-robed middle-aged man seated on a high chair. The man appeared to be in his 40s. He had a somewhat rough appearance. Both of his eyebrows were bright red in color. It appeared as though there were 2 burning flames. This person's aura is mellow and concealed. He appears just like a cluster of warm, devouring flame. It is really quite incredible. However, the feeling he gives me is a little strange. Xiaoyan spoke with a grave expression. From his spiritual perception, the middle-aged man appeared just like a cluster of flame. Moreover, this flame was not hot. Instead, it appeared calm. This was the main reason for Xiao Yan's expression to be grave. The thing that surprised him was that he had actually felt a familiar feeling from within the body of this clan head of the Yin clan. He might only appear to be in his 40s, but he is an old demon who had lived for an unknowingly long time. Sun Er laughed gently and immediately said, Xiao Yin Ji. The control that this clan head of the Yin clan has over the flame has reached the pinnacle level. According to what Father had said, there are 2 types of heavenly flames within his body. One is the ranked 17th Fire Mountain Rock Flame. The other type is the 9 Serene Golden Ancestor Flame, ranked 7th on the Heavenly Flame ranking. Oh? The 9 Serene Golden Ancestor Flame has actually also landed in the hands of the Yin clan. Xiao Yin lifted his brow and spoke with a deeper meaning in his voice. In other words, the interior of his body also has a merged heavenly flame? Aye. It is a new heavenly flame from merging the 9 Serene Golden Ancestor and the Fire Mountain Rock Flame. Although its might could not be compared with your purifying demonic lotus flame, it is able to fight equally with my Gold Emperor incinerating heavenly flame, Sun Er smilingly said. The reason Xiao Yin Ji is able to merge heavenly flames is because of your Qi method. However, this clan head of the Yin clan completely relies on his control over the flames to merge the 2 heavenly flames. The difficulty involved is quite great. Xiao Yan's expression was slightly altered. This was the first time that he saw someone being able to not rely on the flame mantra to merge heavenly flames. He clearly understood the difficulty involved. Even with his current strength, it was likely extremely difficult for him to forcefully merge the 2 heavenly flames together by relying solely on his own strength. After all, the erosion properties of the heavenly flames was far too strong. He is indeed worthy of being the clan head of the Yin clan, Xiao Yin sighed softly. He could not help but admire the ability of this Yin Jin. However, Xiao Yin also understood that merging 2 types of heavenly flames should likely be Yin Jin's limit. If another type of heavenly flame was added, he would likely end up incinerating himself unless he reached THF D class. There was no need to even mention merging 6 types of heavenly flames like Xiao Yin. On the right side of the chief seat is the clan head of the Lei clan, Lei Ying. His strength was similar to Yin Jin, which was at the 8-star Doshang class. He is also the strongest expert within the Lei clan. Xiao Yan's eyes once again turned towards the other side. It was possible to see the metal tower-like man suddenly sitting up. His skin was a little black. This person was extremely eye-catching. It was as though there was a huge dragon swimming under the skin. A frightening strength was vaguely emitted. It caused the feet of those close to him trembled slightly. This lay in greatly coveted battles. It was rumored that he had once fought with Elder Xiao Xin back then. However, he was defeated. Sun Er laughed softly and said, "Oh." A surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes. He was naturally unaware of these events that had occurred a long time ago. However, Ancestor Xiao Xin was basically the strongest person in this world back then. Yet, Lei Ying actually dared to fight him. It seemed that rumors of his desire to fight was indeed true. Sun Er. A figure suddenly snuck in from outside in a suspicious manner while Xiao Yin and Sun Er were hiding in a corner and chatting away. Xiao Yin let out a low cry towards Sun Er. The both of them turned their heads and saw that the person was actually the second general of the Black Submerged Army, Gu Hua, who had entered the Heavenly Tomb with Xiao Yin and the others back then. "What is it?" Sun Er glanced at him in a somewhat doubtful manner. He. Gu Hua gave Xiao Yin and Sun Er an embarrassed smile, after which he spoke with a bitter expression. "I am here to gather reinforcement." Xiao Yin duo were startled. They looked at Gu Hua with stunned expressions, which clearly indicated that they were unaware of the latter's meaning. This was all caused by those fellows from the Lei clan. The moment they arrived at the Lei clan, they began to roam all around and purposefully provoke many from our Black Submerged Army to fight with them. In the end, those people could not restrain themselves and were angered. Moreover, they were completely beaten by the other party. How embarrassing. Gu Hua rubbed his hands together and laughed bitterly. Although I am aware that this is the character of those people from the Lei clan, if we, as the big boss, do not step forward after our subordinates are beaten, it would really hurt them. Hence, the few of us had also intervened and ousted those fellows back. Xiao Yin involuntarily smiled. These people, isn't it fine that you have ousted them? They are after all guests. Don't tell me that you are planning to give chase? Do you think that father and the clan head of the Lei clan aren't aware of this? However, it is just that they could not be bothered to deal with this matter between the younger generation. Sun Er rolled her eyes and said, "That's right. It is fine after we oust them." However, those fellows refused to admit defeat. They found some reinforcements that defeated Gu Xing, Gu Yao, and I. Gu Hua's expression was a little depressed. Being defeated in his home ground would more or less hurt his pride. After all, he was one of the 4 great generals of the Black Submerged Army. Isn't it fine to get Big Brother Qing Yang to resolve this matter? He is the first general of the Black Submerged Army, the chief of the whole Black Submerged Army. Big Brother Qing Yang was also defeated by that person. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to look for you. Gu Hua hesitated for a moment before he finally laughed bitterly. "Oh." Xiao Yan's and Sun Er's expressions were finally slightly altered after hearing those words. The current Gu Qing Yang was an elite 2-star Doshang. There was actually a member of the younger generation from the Lei clan who could defeat him? Could it be that person? Sun Er suddenly knitted her brow and asked. "That's right." Gu Hua nodded in a depressed manner. He remarked, "It is unexpected that he has actually become this strong." "Who is that fellow?" Xiao Yin asked with some curiosity. "Lei Dong, the most dazzling genius within the Lei clan in hundreds of years. He had once stayed within the Lei Realm Lightning Demon Pool for 5 years, lasting 1 year longer than the record made by Lei Ying when he was younger. Although part of the reason is because of the grooming by the entire clan, there was no doubt about his ability or talent. It is rumored that the Lei clan is planning to groom him to be the next clan head. Sun Er mused for a moment before replying. Xiao Yin nodded slightly. It was unexpected that there would be such an outstanding member of the younger generation from within the Lei clan. It seemed that this Lei clan did indeed have a strong foundation. Additionally, the Lei clan has once come to the Gu clan with a marriage proposal. Moreover, many elders had approved of it at that time. However, this matter was subsequently temporarily shelved aside due to some other matters. The main characters of the marriage, which did not come to be, were Lei Dong and me. Sun Er spoke in a somewhat helpless manner.
Ugh.
Xiao Yin was startled. It was unexpected that this person had actually tried snatching his future wife. Sun Er, although that fellow greatly covets battle, this place is after all the Gu clan. If those fellows are allowed to simply return after this, we will likely end up appearing inferior when we meet them in the future. Gu Hua rubbed his hands together and laughed. Therefore, Sun Er, can you lend a hand? Boring. A completely meaningless fight for one's pride. Sun Er glanced at Gu Hua and spoke indifferently. He, if you do not wish to intervene, why don't you ask brother-in-law Xiao Yin to help earn some pride for our black submerged army? Although even the clan head is satisfied with brother-in-law Xiao Yin, the brothers from the black submerged army has the numbers. We will ensure that your wedding is extremely lively when the time comes. Gu Hua was not anxious after hearing Sun Er's words. He directly turned towards Xiao Yin and smilingly said, You. A flush swiftly rose on Sun Er's pretty face after hearing Gu Hua's words. She immediately curled his mouth and said, It seems that your target isn't me but Xiao Yin Gg. Gu Hua laughed. His eyes were immediately heated as they looked at Xiao Yin. He laughed. What do you say? Brother Xiao Yin, do you want to experience the ability of the younger generation of the Lei clan? Currently, Big Brother Qing Yang is delaying them. Xiao Yin involuntarily smiled after being stared at by Gu Hua's heated eyes. His heart involuntarily felt a special feeling. After having been interacting with those old demons, it seemed as though he had already forgotten about his age. According to his age, he should be currently like Gu Hua and the rest, who were experiencing a period of time when they were hard-edged and arrogant. All right, we'll do as you say. Lead the way. Allow me to see just what ability that person who had attempted to snatch my wife has. There was a training ground a short distance outside the main hall of the Gu realm. This was a place where the black submerged army usually trained. It was also the place where many youths from the Gu clan loved to come. Hence, this place was quite lively. Additionally, with the arrival of the Lei and Yin clans' heads today, many of the outstanding members of the younger generation from both clans had also arrived. These young people did not join the so-called important matters. Hence, they had all gathered in this place. It was inevitable for youths to be a little impulsive. This was especially when these youths from the ancient clans met. At this moment, there was a densely packed black mass of people gathered on the training ground. Most of these people were wearing black armors. They were the renowned black submerged army of the Gu clan. Their overall fighting strength was quite powerful. At the very least, with the exception of the Hun clan, none of the other two clans could beat the black submerged army in terms of overall strength. Being able to become a member of the black submerged army was the hope in the hearts of many of the younger generation of the Gu clan. Moreover, if one could stand out from amongst them, it would be possible to be promoted to the commander position. That position meant great fame within the Gu clan. Hence, the aim of many clan members since young was the black submerged army. The training ground was completely surrounded by the black armored black submerged army warriors. However, their eyes were currently containing a trace of anger as they looked at the open ground. There were over a dozen young figures standing proudly with a haughty aura at that spot. A flashing lightning symbol was present on their heads. It was the clan symbol of the Lei clan. Hee hee. It seems that the black submerged army of the Gu clan is not as strong as the rumors claim. Someone had even told me to interact with all of you before I have come. A man present on the open ground was chewing grass in his mouth. His smiling manner appeared frivolous. However, only those who had seen him attack understood that this fellow might appear like a young and idle person, but he was quite strong. There were a couple of figures standing in front of the man. Moreover, all of them had familiar faces. Other than Gu Qingyang and the two other generals, Ling Quan and the few black submerged army commanders were also present. However, their expressions were currently a little ugly. Lei Yun, stop your nonsense. I will accompany you if you wish to fight. We will fight however you want. Gu Xing, who was one of the four great generals, spoke in a deep voice. He frowned slightly in the face of the somewhat ear-piercing provocation. Ugh, what fun is there to fight with a big block like you? Earlier, even your black submerged army first general, Gu Qingyang, had lost to big brother Lei Dong. It seems that the younger generation of my Lei clan is even stronger than that of the Gu clan. The man called Lei Yun smilingly said, Lei Yun, you should stop using this glib of your tongue. The silver-clothed man standing in front of Lei Yun suddenly smiled and shook his head. He immediately cupped his hands together towards Gu Qingyang and laughed. I'm really sorry. This fellow has always been straightforward. Gu Qingyang frowned upon hearing these words. The manner in which this was spoken. Qi, the strongest person amongst the younger generation of my Gu clan is Miss Sun Air. If you really wish for a challenge, you can go to Miss Sun Air and have a try. A commander of the black submerged army involuntarily opened his mouth and laughed coldly.
Haha, Sun Air here.
The silver-clothed Lei Dong smiled slightly upon hearing this. There was an unknown feeling within his eyes as he said, I have long since heard of Miss Sun Air. It is a must for me to meet her during this trip to the Gu clan. Gu Hua had escaped earlier. He should have gone to find her, right? The expressions of those commanders from the black submerged army had a change in expression after seeing that the eyes of this person was so sharp. Haha, big brother Lei Dong. It is rumored that both you and Sun Air had nearly gotten married back then. Coincidentally, the clan head is present. Why don't you ask him to mention about it? With your current achievement, just who is not worthy of the other? Lei Yun laughed. The expressions of Gu Yuan and the others involuntarily sunk after hearing these words. There were many people amongst the younger generation of the Gu clan who felt some infatuation towards Sun Air. Although Xiao Yin had currently caught her heart, Sun Air was ultimately still a bright pearl within the Gu clan. How could others tease her in such a manner? These people from the Lei clan are really still such a headache. A couple of figures were watching the show on the training ground from a high platform at the eastern side. They had a fire symbol on their foreheads. Clearly, they were members of the Yin clan. The one standing in the leader's spot had a familiar face. It was Huaxian, whom Xiao Yin had met a couple of times before. Beside him was the veiled-faced lady named Huaya, who possessed the red lotus Yi flame. Lei Dong had indeed improved greatly during these years. It looks like the Lei clan has put in a great amount of effort. Given his achievement, there is indeed nothing wrong to groom him as the next clan head. However, there is still a need to hone his character. Huaya swept her eyes across the training ground as she whispered, Haha, what is the point of putting in any effort? It is not as though you do not know who Sun Air is fond of. Moreover, that fellow is coincidentally also in the Gu realm. Huaxian smiled and spoke gloatingly. If he comes out, it is likely that these fellows from the Lei clan will be in for trouble.
Xiao Yan who?
Huaya was slightly startled upon hearing this. She softly said, It is rumored that the chief of the Hall of Soul had been defeated in his hands. I wonder if this is true. It is likely true. Before we have come, the clan head had told me to be a little closer to Xiao Yin. This is the only time I have seen the clan head holding a young person in such high regard. Hun Xin replied. Oh. Huaya's brow was lifted. A solemn expression flashed across her eyes. The few commanders of the black submerged army on the training around had become a little furious because of Lei Yun's words while Hua Xin and Huaya were chatting. Their expressions became cold. They were unable to control themselves and were about to attack when First Commander Gu Zhan at the side extended his hand to stop them. His eyes turned towards Lei Yu and spoke with a deep meaning in his words. Lei Yun, sometimes being obtrusive is not a good thing. Be careful of luring trouble with your words. Oh, is that so? Lei Yun smiled and spoke in a non-committal manner upon hearing this. I think that should be the case. A soft laughter suddenly resounded over the training ground after Lei Yun's words sounded. Immediately, the many pairs of eyes present were turned. One could see 3 figures appearing on the tall stage at the north of the training ground out of the blue. These people were looking down at the training ground. Sun Er, Xiao Yin, Gu Qingyang, and the rest were startled upon seeing 2 of the 3 figures. He, this must be Miss Sun Er from the Gu clan. She is indeed extremely beautiful and is worthy of big brother Lei Dong. The many pairs of eyes from the Lei clan paused on Sun Er immediately. A surprise flashed across their eyes. After which, Lei Yun could not help but open his mouth to speak. Before he could finish speaking, however, he was suddenly stopped by Lei Dong beside him. Ugh, big brother Lei Dong? Lei Yun was startled after he was stopped by Lei Dong. He turned his head doubtfully, only to discover that Lei Dong was solemnly staring at a black-clothed young man beside Sun Er. If I guess correctly, this friend should be Xiao Yin from the Xiao clan, right? Lei Dong's eyes stared directly at Xiao Yin. His grave eyes contained some vague excitement in them. Xiao Yin? Lei Yun's expression changed upon hearing this name. He involuntarily exclaimed, that Xiao Yin who is rumored to have defeated Hun Miesheng? Xiao Yin calmly smiled as he stood on the tall stage and nodded. Gee, this brat is even more arrogant than us. What is there to be proud about defeating Hun Miesheng? The other party might have purposefully allowed him to win. The usually proud members of the Lei clan felt some displeasure after seeing this manner of Xiao Yin. They began to mutter softly. Although their voices were soft, it still spread. No one knew if they had done so purposefully or accidentally. Sun Er frowned slightly as she stood on the tall stage. Her pretty face revealed a chillness. She was just about to speak when Xiao Yin waved his hand. He stepped forward and laughed softly. I heard that the few of you are here to spar and have fun. May I know if I can also join in the fun? Are you here to help them get back at us? However, you aren't from the Gu clan, are you? Lei Dong said. His face twitched after seeing that Xiao Yin was showing signs of being about to stand up for the Gu clan. Brother Xiao Yin is the husband-to-be of Sun Er. He can be considered a member of our Gu clan, Gu Qingyang spoke in a faint voice. The relationship between Xiao Yin and Sun Er was widely known within the Gu clan. Moreover, with Xiao Yin's current strength, even the clan head had accepted it. This matter was basically decided, and no one could change the decision. Oh! Lei Dong suddenly frowned upon hearing this. He immediately licked his lips. A black lightning arc flashed across his eyes as he said, Since Brother Xiao Yin is interested, please join us. Black lightning suddenly surged out from within Lei Dong's body after his final words sounded. A crackling lightning lingered around his body as an unusually wild and violent aura spread, causing the expressions of many to change. I wonder how Xiao Yin would deal with that thing. Gu Qingyang and the others stared intently at the black lightning lingering around Lei Dong's body. Earlier, they had been defeated by this frightening black lightning. The offensive strength of this black lightning was extremely great. Even their defenses were easily broken through upon contact. Black demon lightning, huh? A surprise flashed across Xiao Yan's eyes as he looked at the familiar black lightning on Lei Dong's body. It was unexpected that the latter was actually able to control the black demon lightning. It was likely that its combat ability was also quite great. No wonder he was able to defeat Gu Qingyang and the others. However, this did not pose much of a threat towards Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's body moved in front of the many pairs of eyes. He directly appeared in front of Lei Dong. His eyes swept over the dozen members of the Lei clan, after which he shifted his legs and laughed in front of the many stunned pairs of eyes. There is not much time. Why don't all of you attack together?